Hello, bonjour. Two things I'm going to just show you because we'd all have to get out supplies and everything. But these are 5 exercises. I did them once every day of the week to open the writing block. And this was in 4th and 5th grade, but I still used it in 5th and 6th grade, some of the things. And each has a different purpose that is related directly to writing or something having to do with writing. So Brett, I'm going to just get a desk out from here. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay. One of these you've seen in our training with Robin, and so it will not be new to you. So this is called the scribble. Actually, I think that Rachel Ross might have done this. So the scribble, it releases tension in the arm and the wrist and kind of undoes some blockages. And if you remember, I have a particular student who back then mostly spent most of her time like this. Okay, so you know who I'm talking about. And this is when I saw some really profound changes from her. And this is very simple. You're holding 4 crayons in your dominant writing hand, all kind of bunched together enough so that, and you've got a fist, and they should all touch the paper. And then you just let them go. You say scribble in circles. So if you're right-handed, you're going counterclockwise. If you're left-handed, you're going to go clockwise. Okay, and they just do this little thing. And in my class, they were like, "Madame, why are we doing this baby scribble thing?" And I was like, just keep going. And then they really got into it. And they just try to cover every bit of the page. They can be big, they can be small, and they can be slow or fast. There's no rules really on this. And so, you know, they go until you tell them to stop. Okay, so that's one. And then another
question.
Yes.
What grade level can you have?
You know, I think I'm looking at you. 1st grade. I mean, it's. And there's no problem with doing it with older grades because it's performing a particular function. So, and it was beneficial, obviously, in this particular case for one of my students to unblock her, but overall.
And they do it with the writing here.
Yeah, because it helps with the dominance, sort of establish that dominance. Another thing, this one is going to be attached to also releasing some tension in their arm and hand, which you see beginning writers, they tend to get really clampy with their hands. So they're sitting at their desk, and if they're right-handed, they're going to start with their palm kind of across their desk. They want to have a good surface to move across. And they're going to really deliberately pull their fingers and then move their palm. So I'm spreading my hand out and I'm pulling against the desk to a fist and then moving out. And you continue, and you can try this on the ground and see how it feels. So you're producing this tension against the surface of the desk, and you're releasing it. And when you get down to here, you go forward, which is a totally different feeling of grabbing the desk and moving your hand forward, spreading out, grabbing. So it's like a relaxation and feeling the coolness of the desk and then pulling hard. So left-handed people should be coming from the right-hand top of the desk to the left-hand corner. Okay, now that's the end of my desk demo. Now there's another exercise called the triangle rod, which we have done also in training, and this is just sort of a waking up I'm not actually positive that has to do with writing in particular, but since writing is a pretty concentrated task, you may stand, please. It's a good thing to kind of wake up to a little bit. So always passing the rods out like this so that people have a chance to do dominance. I'm laughing because you use both hands to catch. And students also like to be where I am. And then I always choose a different student to do this. And some students are still asleep, and I have to repeatedly say their name to make sure they're awake. Okay, so feet just shoulder length apart. Make sure you're not going to hit anybody that's beside you. You might have to go back a little bit. Okay, and so our goal is to keep our trunk straight. We don't want to bend like this. Okay, so starting here, we're going to go all the way down to the ground just by bending at the waist. You're going to keep your trunk straight and imagine that your arms are glued to your ears. You can't move them away from there. They must stay by your ears. And feel free to bend your legs if going all the way down is painful. Okay. And you can make up various verses to go with this. I'm not remembering what I used. Okay, you're down here, you pause for a moment, and then we're going to come up, so match your ears to your arms and keep it there, rising up. So there's a lot of stretching involved. Let's go down one more time. And I've found that it is very hard for students to keep their arms by their ears. And up. Okay. And there's, of course, so many things that you can do with a copper rod, like crossing the midline. That's another for a whole nother demo. So you can just lay this here for now. Another exercise for writing is another way of loosening up the hand is to take a small rubber ball and just take one as come around.
Wait, whose room are the copper rods in?
I cannot find the copper rods. I don't know where they are. Okay, and I always tell my students, please do not bounce the balls. Please hold the ball in your hands. Because there's always about 5 people. Okay, so here we're going to rotate the ball around to each finger with our thumb. We're rolling it around so it touches each finger. You start off with your dominant hand, and you're wanting to touch it to every finger with your thumb and not let it roll around your hand. It's a very purposeful kind of thing so that all of your fingers are involved. And then go around the other way, which all of a sudden feels very awkward. That's good. Rolling. And now I'm rolling counterclockwise. I'm rolling clockwise because it's against my nature. And then you switch hands. And you always watch, what are people doing with this hand right now? You know, like some people are like this, some people are like this, some people are like this. This is a very interesting exercise to watch your students. All extra lesson things are so interesting to see what's going on. Now go the other way. Like I just feel compelled to keep my hand here. I have to. Look at all you relaxed people. Obviously, I'm still in my Moro reflex stage. Okay, so that's another loosening of the hand. And then last thing, find a partner and go to this chalkboard and you could erase all the eclipse stuff and the woodchuck stuff. You just need a little spot to be able to stand one person right behind the other. And maybe we just do a few people. We don't, well, it might work out actually to have all of you. So this exercise is good for creativity, for kind of promoting the art of imagination. And what it is that your partner, the partner standing behind the partner nearest to the board, that partner is going to draw a simple form drawing on the back of that person. And after they're finished, not while they're doing it, their partner is going to draw it on the board and see if it is the same, the partner in back. So this gives great fun and pleasure to the students because it's like you kind of want to trick your partner, and I have to repeatedly say it's a simple form. So do you want to be my partner first? And okay, so, and the usual, please do not jab your fingers. Well, I say, no, I don't say it that way. I say, please be gentle with your partner, and remember, we're doing very simple forms, not something complicated. Excellent, you really read my mind. Oh my gosh. Okay, so then they switch. Okay, so why don't a couple people come and try?
Can you do this with letters?
Yeah, oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
What grade level would you introduce this to?
This also is pretty young, but maybe not first grade.
No,
Maybe.
Either half of second grade.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But you can have, I used to, with the first grade, have them in circle, kind of have a partner.
And then the alphabets.
And draw, different letters.
Yeah.
And have them guess. I love that. Or I would go around and draw a letter on their back and have them guess. And then that's how they would get very quiet, and that's how I would excuse them to the circle.
And this type of exercise is something that can be built on as the students get older. So Paul Gerlach showed us one that he would do with his, I'm about ready to do this with my students, is where you draw a form in the air in front of your class, and then they attempt to do it back to you. I mean, from in a circle, they try to do it. Now that requires a lot of awareness on your part, because you have to really know what you did. You have to know it ahead of time and see where their fingers are going. But they really love the challenge of trying to get it right. And then he said, as they get a little older, they have to realize that they need to do the mirror of what you're doing, not what you're doing. They have to turn it around. So I haven't done that with my students yet.